Have you ever looked at a polished wooden table and thought, how did something so smooth, elegant, and full of life once stand deep inside a wild forest as a rough, weathered log? It's hard to imagine that what now supports your coffee cup and family dinners once echoed with the sound of birds and wind brushing through leaves. But that's the story of transformation, a journey where raw nature meets precision and chaos becomes beauty. The process of turning logs into furniture isn't just mechanical, it's emotional, detailed, and deeply human. It all begins in the forest, where the trees chosen for cutting aren't picked at random. Each one is studied for its density, straightness, grain pattern, and age. Harvesters walk among the giants, listening to the creaks of trunks that have stood for decades, sometimes centuries. When the perfect tree is chosen, it's marked with a faint spray of paint, a signal of its next life. Chainsaws roar, sawdust fills the air, and in moments, something that took 50 years to grow lies silent on the forest floor. But the story doesn't end there. It's just beginning. The freshly cut logs are loaded onto massive trucks that crawl through muddy trails, each carrying a small piece of history. The sound of the forest fades as they move toward the sawmill, where the industrial symphony begins. Here, machines stand taller than men, and belts and blades move with the precision of heartbeat. The logs first enter the debarking machine, giant rotating drums lined with steel teeth that strip off the outer bark layer, exposing the pale, raw wood beneath. It's a violent process, but necessary. That bark holds dirt, insects, and moisture that can ruin fine furniture later. As the logs roll down steel conveyors, they pass through scanners that use lasers to map every curve, defect, and knot, calculating the most efficient way to cut each piece. Nothing is random here. Every slice is planned to maximize strength, beauty, and yield. Then comes the sawing stage, where circular blades spin faster than the human eye can follow. The air hums with energy as thick logs become rectangular boards. The sawyers, those who operate the machines, adjust angles and feeds by feel, relying on years of experience. They know which cut reveals the most beautiful grain, and which might split the heartwood. The smell in the air is unforgettable, a mix of resin, heat, and something earthy that only fresh-cut wood carries. The sawdust doesn't go to waste either. It's collected, filtered, and often reused for biomass fuel, animal bedding, or even particle board. Nothing dies in a sawmill. Everything transforms. After sawing, the boards are sorted by thickness, color, and quality. Then they move into one of the most critical stages, drying. Wood fresh from the forest can contain up to 60% moisture, and if it's not properly dried, it will warp, crack, or twist when turned into furniture. To prevent that, boards are placed into massive kilns, huge chambers where temperature, humidity, and airflow are carefully controlled by computers. Inside, the heat pulls moisture from the core to the surface, slowly hardening the wood structure. The process can take from a few days to several weeks, depending on the species. Some mills even pre-dry their boards in open-air sheds before kiln drying to save energy and reduce stress on the wood fibers. When the wood finally emerges, it's lighter, stronger, and stable, ready to be shaped into something extraordinary. The next step is planing and grading. Massive planers shave off rough edges, making every board smooth and even. Workers inspect each plank under bright lights, marking any imperfections with chalk. A knot here might be filled later. A split there might be cut out. Some boards are too unique to discard. Their wild grains and color streaks are set aside for high-end furniture, where nature's imperfections become design highlights. These small choices decide the story each piece will tell once it's in a home. Now comes the transformation, the true artistry. In furniture factories, technology and craftsmanship merge. Computer-controlled routers cut intricate joints and shapes with laser accuracy, while skilled carpenters fine-tune edges by hand. The smell of sanded wood fills the air, and every touch leaves a small trace of human care. This stage can involve dozens of processes: shaping legs, carving patterns, building frames, and assembling complex joints that must hold for generations. Glue is applied, Clamps press tightly and silence fills the workshop as pieces bond together into something whole. After the assembly, the furniture heads to finishing. This is where the personality of the wood finally blooms. Workers sand surfaces until they feel like silk. Then stains and sealants are applied, sometimes brushed by hand, sometimes sprayed by automated systems. The first coat seeps deep into the grain, darkening it, giving it warmth and life. Then comes sanding again, and another coat, and another, each adding more depth, more character. Some finishes are glossy and reflective, others matte and soft, but all are meant to protect and reveal. The scent of lacquer and oil hangs in the air like perfume, a final reminder that even technology bows to tradition. Every piece then goes through quality inspection. Tightness checks, balance tests, moisture readings, even drop resistance. Nothing is left to chance. If one chair wobbles, it's reworked. If one table shows uneven color, it's refinished. Because furniture isn't just functional, it's personal. It's where people sit, eat, rest, and build memories. That's why manufacturers treat each creation like a living object. Finally, the furniture is packed, wrapped, and shipped. Some pieces travel halfway across the world. Others stay close to where they were born. The logs that once stood in silence now live in rooms filled with voices, laughter, and daily life. The transformation is complete. From the stillness of the forest to the hum of human connection. But here's the part most people never realize. Behind every furniture piece is an invisible dialogue between man and nature. It's a process that balances respect for the forest with the creativity of the craftsman. Every curve of a chair leg, every smooth table surface, carries a whisper of the tree it came from. Some manufacturers even track their wood from forest to home, ensuring that the circle of sustainability stays unbroken. For every tree felled, another is planted, continuing the silent cycle of life, growth, and transformation. And here's the twist. When you run your hand across a wooden surface, you're not just touching furniture. You're touching years of rain, sun, soil, and wind, all captured in those lines and grains. That table in your dining room? It once reached for the sky. That chair in the corner? It once shaded the forest floor. What you see now isn't just wood. It's memory, reborn through human hands. From the raw echo of the forest to the refined heartbeat of your home, the story of wood is the story of patience, transformation, and time itself.